Hello YouTube, it is Championdjk coming at you again with another M2 unboxing video. And we got a quick one for you today. This is the latest and greatest, well, I don't know about greatest, but at least the latest series of auto drivers from M2 machines. Of course, as usual, if you've been watching any of my M2 unboxings, these cars are not mine. I did not buy them. I didn't get them for myself. These were purchased by my good friend Diecast. Check him out on YouTube and Instagram. That's Diecast Rum, as in like, you know, Captain Morgan. So go check him out. YouTube and Instagram. Give him a subscribe. Give him a follow on Instagram. All that good stuff. He shows all these cars and talks about them a bit more in detail and all that. But what we do on this channel is we unbox them. And we see if he scored a chase or not before these get reboxed and shipped out to Romania. All right, so let's go ahead and let's take a peek at what this series of cars contains. Of course, as usual, it's going to be a 6-car series. And as usual for these M2 unboxings, I have no idea what's in the box. Okay, I'm not sure if these have popped up at Walmart yet. I'm not really sure. It is a possibility they have. It's a possibility they haven't. There's a possibility there's a chase in here. There might not be. We just don't know. Okay, it's a sealed case, and I don't follow M2 all that closely. You guys know that. But I do like checking them out. I do like looking at what's in here and sharing it with you. So we're going to go ahead and just cut her open, per usual. It appears to be an untampered with sealed case, so the chance is there. We've got a cardboard top bit, and then we do have all the tissue paper is intact. So we're going to go ahead and check them out and see what we get. All right. Okay, so this series, I know right off the bat, has shown up at my Walmart. And I can tell because I've seen it, and I recognize this Pontiac Firebird. And you can believe, as a Firebird fan, I have been tempted to snag it. So I did see it on the shelves. I did not buy it. I just can't buy everything, and I'm not going to go down the road of trying to buy all of these 68 Pontiac Firebirds from M2. I will say, though, you know, I must admit that as far as the people that have come up with a 68, 67, you know, Pontiac Firebird in 1/64 scale, or I should say 1/64-ish scale, as these are not, I don't think, entirely true to scale. I do have to say that, you know, and admit that M2 actually does a pretty darn good job with this tooling, and I think it looks pretty good. Now, that's just for the 67. I don't really think anybody else makes it except for maybe Johnny Lightning, and the Johnny Lightning one's kind of small, and it leaves a little bit to be desired. The Racing Champions one is pretty big, actually, and I think they do this Gen Firebird, and it's, you know, it's a little big, and bigger than this even, I think, and it's not that great proportionately. But this 68 Firebird from M2 is actually pretty good. I do have a couple examples of it in my collection already. And this one in green looks pretty awesome. And again, the M2 drivers, I've explained this series a few times. It's kind of like the basic line of M2. These are limited to 8,000 pieces. The card art looks really cool on these too. These typically will be like the same type of castings you'd find in a more premium release from M2, but they're not going to have any of the opening features. So the hood's not going to open on this. The base is typically plastic on these instead of metal. So, but that's a pretty nice looking bird. And honestly, I've been tempted to grab that one. I have seen it sitting on the pegs, and I've been tempted. Here is a 1966 Dodge Charger Hemi. Again, the packaging looks really good. And the casting is pretty decent as well. Some nice basic releases, no wacky graphics, you know. Nothing really to be upset about. They're just pretty solid little die-cast cars. And, you know, the plastic base doesn't bug me at all. I'm glad that they have versions of these castings without the opening features, because frankly, the opening features can detract from the overall look of the car, especially if you see big gaps in the doors and all that stuff. The next one here is the 1950 Studebaker 2R truck. Again, looks pretty good. Again, limited to 8,000 pieces. This one in green. There's a little bit of an issue here with if you're a card collector, if you're not going to take this off the base, because the wheel is off the rim on the back. It's kind of hard to see on camera with the dark green and the dark black base, but and of course the black tire. But it's coming off of there. The taillights look a bit wonky on this one as well. So, other than that, I do eventually, I think, want to get in a version of this casting. I think it's a pretty nice looking truck. Pretty decent. And again, you know, pretty good looking card art. You know, they make it look like in a vintage ad, kind of. Next is this Mustang, 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 302. This lady on this little advertisement here has some pretty sweet pants. Pretty cool right there. All right. The casting, it's been around for a while. Again, a little bit of quality issue with this one. The louvers, what have you, slats in the back there are not quite aligned properly, which it looks like, I guess that's a separate plastic piece. It looks like there's a window underneath it, which I guess would make sense, but you can probably reposition that, possibly fix that. There's a little bit of an issue. Stance looks alright. It just looks large. It's a very large casting. It's a very large version of this Mustang. So I'm guessing quite a bit bigger than 164. You guys will have to let me know if I'm wrong. And let's see. Next one is this nice 1971 Chevy Camaro Sport Coupe. This one looks pretty good. Pretty sweet. Yeah, I kind of like this one. Yeah, I'm digging that. Nice basic. We learned a lot from Corvette. Here it is, Camaro. Here's what we learned. We learned Camaro from the Corvette. That's pretty cool. Nice and basic. I love that stuff. I love it when it's just, you know, kind of a stock car. There's no crazy graphics on it or anything like that. And M2 does put a lot of crazy graphics on their cars and their releases. So, not really crazy graphics, but, you know, like sponsorship stuff, Goodyear tire stuff, whatever. You know, like a bunch of different stuff on their cars. So, it's kind of cool just to get basic releases. That one would be tempting. This one is the last one in the series, and no, we did not appear to score a chase. I don't know what the chases look like on these, but they will nowadays have a sticker on them that will say 1 of 750, which I believe is what the chases are limited to for the M2 drivers, the current M2 driver releases. I think there's no super chase or anything like that. They just have one chase per series, which is kind of a cool way to do it. You know, some other stuff like Auto World and Johnny Lightning, you know, they have 6 chases in each series, right? And there's 3% of the production line. So if you really want to go after Auto World, you got to collect 6 chases in every single series. And, you know, obviously I know from experience that can be somewhat of a challenge sometimes, even though, you know, there's quite a few of them out there. But for M2, it's one chase typically per series, and some of the cases, the acrylic cases one or whatever, they do have 3 chases in some of those, and there'll be like a couple that are limited to 750, and then one super chase that's limited to like 250 or possibly 168. But it's kind of a cool way to do chases, I think, is just have a straight number, and no matter how many are produced, doesn't matter if there's 8,000, 7,000, whatever, the chases are going to be limited to a certain number. But anyway, here's the Ford F100 truck in blue, which looks pretty good. Doesn't really interest me much, but I'm sure some of you will like it. And there you have it. All right, so obvious for me, like the highlight is going to be the Firebird, just because I'm a bird fan. And this colored green looks really fantastic with like these off-white wheels. I think it just looks really good. And then if I had to pick a second favorite, I would probably go with this Camaro. I think it looks pretty good as well. And then probably Studebaker, and then, you know, the other 3. I mean, I gotta pick probably this one over the other 3, or the other 2 that are left. I think that looks all right. And then the last 2 is kind of a toss-up. The Mustang casting, I'm just not a huge fan of. It looks too huge. This one, I do think the casting's all right. It doesn't really do much for me. So there you go. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed another M2 unboxing video. I still have some rapid ones to do, where I have 3 videos left where we're going to do 3 cases in each one of those videos of older M2 drivers releases. I got to get those done. I will do those hopefully sometime soon, and you will get to see them. All right, thank you guys very much again for watching. Check out the M2 playlist for more M2 content. Check out my other playlist for other diecast content, all based around 164. And yeah, that's going to be it. So thank you guys. Have a great day.